It is 5 a.m. and these are the images of heartbreak coming into our newsroom. This after an Egypt Air flight apparently crashed into the Mediterranean Sea. It has now been confirmed as a crash with 66 on board. We'll have the latest, including what may have happened. But first, we want to get a look at your weather on this Thursday morning. Here's Chris Tomer.
Yeah, Tom, well, I'll tell you, here we go. We're off to the races over the next several days with warm temps. Look at this, crystal clear out here across the eastern plains this morning. And yesterday we had fog setting up across this area. Not the case this morning. It is just totally clear. Temperatures are even mild. 46 in Denver, 41 up in Fort Collins. Boulder sitting at 43. So here's your pinpoint forecast. The high is 75. Sunshine, just a slight 10% chance of a thunderstorm this afternoon. So it gets even warmer after today. Tom, Kim, over to you guys.
I want to get back to that breaking news from Europe. A flight from Paris to Cairo that disappeared from radar in the middle of its flight with 66 people on board.
So just in, the French president has confirmed the plane did crash, but says nothing can be ruled out as to why. Information is coming in quickly here this morning. Heather Mills is joining us with the very latest on the search efforts and what might have happened to Flight 804.
Yeah, as you said, Kim, we're learning so much this morning. Let's go ahead and take a look at its flight path. It took off from Paris around 11 p.m. local time. You can see here it is. It was in the air for about 3.5 hours, cruising at 37,000 feet through Greece, just 175 miles off the coast of Egypt when it disappeared. Right now, a massive ocean search is underway in the spot where that plane could have gone down. The Greek defense minister has said the plane made sudden swerves before it came down. Also, that when they tried to hand off the plane to Egyptian authorities as it exited their airspace, there was no response from the aircraft. They tried for 1.5 minutes. Egypt Air says a distress signal was detected in the general area where the plane vanished, but 2 hours afterward. Aviation experts are weighing in on what could have happened to Flight 804.
The plane's trace just stops at 37,000 feet. And if you look at the graph normally of planes as they fall out the sky, you'll see they continue to transmit some form of ADS-B information, and you do see the descent portfolio and profile. We don't have that here. That suggests immediate, it suggests dramatic, it suggests loss of power, complete loss of power to the aircraft.
Of the 56 passengers and 10 crew members on board, there were no Americans on that flight. The majority French and Egyptian nationals, including 2 infants and a child. Right now, families have gathered at the Cairo and the Paris airports, hoping for some answers. We're going to continue monitoring all the latest developments in this story. We'll bring you updates, Kim, as they come into our newsroom this morning.
All right, we will count on that. Thank you, Heather. Back here in Colorado, we have breaking news as well out of Adams County. A woman was stabbed overnight at the White Rock Motel that's located near 55th and Federal. Now, just minutes ago, we learned a homicide investigation is underway. Greg Nieto is there.
Good morning. Within the past couple of minutes, we were able to confirm we are now dealing with a homicide. This is 55th and Federal, the White Rock Motel. According to the Adams County Sheriff's Office, at about 1:30, they get a call of a disturbance here at the motel. They find an adult female had been stabbed, taken to a local hospital, and pronounced dead. Authorities do add they are actively searching for the suspect. They have identified whom they are looking for. So no threat to the surrounding community. But again, a lot of law enforcement activity here at 55th and Federal, just south of I-76. Again, we'll bring you an update coming up at 5:30. Reporting from unincorporated Adams County, just south of I-76, Greg Nieto, Channel 2 News Daybreak.
All right, thank you, Greg. Also overnight in Adams County, one person is arrested, but no one was injured after a late night police chase ends off of 70th and Pecos. We are working to get updates on exactly what happened here, and we will provide them throughout the morning.
And a developing story from overnight that certainly has touched a nerve with many viewers concerned about a little boy in our area being yelled and screamed at, apparently by his mother. Now, we're going to show you a small portion of a video. It can be extremely difficult to watch. The entire video is 16 minutes, and it's gone viral.
Find it before I throw this at your head. No. Now.
Find it.
One. No. Find it.
The video showing the mother yelling at her toddler about losing her phone charger. Well, we've got hundreds of Facebook comments. We've got messages and emails coming in. And late last night, we tracked down the boy's grandfather, who assured us the little boy has been removed from his mother's home, but also said he is still concerned for his grandchild's safety.
I told social services, I'm like, when are you going to do something from him? When he ends up dead, we want to bring him home, a real home. He's 2 years old and he's been through what? I can't even count on my fingers how many homes he's bounced to, motels. And I just had it. This video, I've had it.
The grandfather says he has filed a complaint with social services before, starting when his grandson was just 6 months old. Of course, we will continue to follow this story throughout today. And if you're worried about the welfare of any child, you can always give an anonymous tip by calling 911. Or there's another number you can call, 1-844-CO, the number 4, kids.
Today, jury deliberations will take place in the Aurora Theater shooting civil trial. Families of the victims are suing Cinemark Theater, claiming there were not enough security precautions in place to prevent that 2012 theater shooting. Jim Hooley is live at the Arapahoe County Courthouse this morning with more. Jim?
Yeah, good morning, Kim. The jury really getting down to work today. They deliberated for just a short time yesterday, only about 30 minutes before going home for the night. But they'll be back here today in just a short while and begin deliberations in earnest coming up at 8:30 this morning. Now, as you mentioned throughout the trial here, this civil trial now, the families of the victims have argued throughout that the theater chain should have been prepared and in some way should have been able to foresee the possibility of a mass shooting inside the theater, ready with armed guards and security cameras. But Cinemark says there is no way that was possible, even with the number of shootings that have happened, sadly, throughout the country. In the meantime now, several victims have filed complaints against the Department of Corrections here in Colorado. They believe the department has violated their rights by not revealing where James Holmes is now serving his life sentence in prison. The shooter was moved to an out-of-state prison earlier this year, but the department has repeatedly refused to make that location public, and to the families as well. There is a hearing set on those complaints coming up tomorrow with the Department of Corrections. Again, that will be tomorrow. The deliberations here in Arapahoe County will begin, as we mentioned, at 8:30 this morning. Live in Arapahoe County, Jim Hooley, Channel 2 News, Daybreak.
Now to an elementary school on a field trip at the Denver Zoo, and a teacher accidentally bringing his gun along. Now, it happened yesterday afternoon, and when they got to the zoo, the teacher from the Brighton Leadership Academy told the bus driver he had forgotten that he had his gun and asked to leave it on the bus. Well, the police were called. They confiscated the handgun. They say the teacher did not have his concealed carry permit with him at the time the teacher was cited. Of course, we want to make sure you know that no students were harmed. No one was hurt. The students not alarmed either as far as what happened.
All right, now to your business news. Sports Authority has failed to find a buyer, and that means the doors to all of their stores will be closing. The company has already been having some major closing sales. Now they're planning a going out of business sale at all of the 450 locations. Sports Authority originally said it would only close 140 stores when it filed for bankruptcy back in March, but now all of those stores are closing. While you may be able to find some deals, of course, lots of people are going to be out of a job.
Yeah, now, if you go to a Sports Authority store, you may find not only sporting goods and clothing and the like on sale, but shelving, the appliances, everything must go, as they say. It's 5:09. Let's talk about our weather today with Chris Tomer, and things wrapped up nicely yesterday. And